Now to the cackling witch herself, Joy Behar from The View, whose jealousy is something to behold.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Here is Joy objectifying the White House press secretary, saying she only has the job because she's hot.
Did Joy Behar have a nervous breakdown on live TV and threaten to kill Karoline Leavitt? A moment so unhinged it's ripped her from The View and sparked a firestorm that's still raging. Picture this: a studio gone silent, cameras rolling, and one of daytime TV's loudest voices spiraling into chaos right before our eyes. Welcome back to Buzz Juice SOS, where we're diving deep into the scandal that's got everyone buzzing. A controversy so wild it's shaking the media to its core. Joy Behar, the brash, unfiltered co-host who's ruled The View for years, is out. Gone, finished, booted from the panel after a meltdown that's unleashed legal threats, social media mayhem, and a backlash no one saw coming. What pushed one of television's boldest figures to the edge and over it? Hang on tight, because this tale's about to unravel with more twists than you can handle. It all started on what seemed like a typical episode of The View, a show that thrives on fiery debates and sharper tongues. The topic? Karoline Leavitt, the 27-year-old rising star tapped as White House press secretary in Donald Trump's new administration. She's young, fierce, and already a lightning rod, especially after her first briefing, where she shut down the woke crowd with a razor-sharp, "There'll be no wokeness here." That line alone had X buzzing. But Joy? It hit her like a match to gasoline. The cameras caught every second as she launched into a rant, her voice climbing, her hands shaking. Then it happened. She snapped. "I'll kill her!" she shrieked, eyes wild, slamming her fist on the table. She's just a pretty-faced Trump propped up. She doesn't deserve that job. The studio froze. Audience gasps echoed. Her co-hosts flinched, caught in the wreckage of her outburst. Alyssa Farah Griffin, a former Trump insider herself, tried to cut through the madness. "It wasn't her first job, Joy. It was her first briefing," she snapped. But Joy wasn't hearing it. She was too far gone. That moment wasn't just a meltdown, it was a bombshell, and the explosion hit fast. Social media erupted like a volcano, 10 users from every corner unloading their fury. Joy Behar's lost it, threatening murder on air, one post screamed. Another stabbed deeper. She's spent years preaching feminism, then loses her mind over a woman's success. The hypocrisy was a gut punch. Joy, the warrior for women's rights, unraveling into a threat against Karoline Leavitt, a trailblazer in her own right. If a conservative pulled that, they'd be in cuffs by now. Someone raged, and the pile-on didn't stop. "She's jealous. Leavitt's everything Joy wishes she was," another quipped, the venom dripping. The internet turned into a battlefield, and Joy was the target pinned in the crosshairs. Karoline Leavitt, though, wasn't about to play victim. At 27, she's the youngest press secretary ever, with a resume that could silence any room. Communications director for top Republican campaigns, a stint in Trump's first administration, and a spine of steel that showed in her debut. Joy's unhinged threat? That was war. Leavitt didn't just fire back with words. She hit Joy with a lawsuit that landed like a thunderbolt. Defamation, character assassination, intentional distress. The legal docs laid it out cold. Joy's outburst wasn't just reckless, it was a deliberate attack to shred Leavitt's reputation on live TV. "She threatened my life and smeared my career," Leavitt said in a statement, her voice calm but lethal. This wasn't a slap on the wrist. It was a guillotine blade swinging for Joy's neck, and ABC, the network behind The View, felt the heat instantly. Backstage chaos swallowed the network whole. Execs bolted into crisis mode, their plush offices a war room of panic. A groveling apology, suspend Joy, or cut her loose and hope the storm dies. The stakes were suffocating, a lawsuit looming, a PR disaster unfolding, and a fan base ready to riot. Inside The View's team, loyalties shattered. Some staffers clung to Joy, muttering she'd been pushed too far, her breakdown a cry for help. Others weren't buying it. "She's a liability, always has been," one insider hissed to a tabloid. "This time she's dragged us all down." The air crackled with tension, whispers of betrayal bouncing off the walls. ABC was trapped, the clock ticking louder with every leaked rumor. The pressure didn't let up. Days later, reports painted a grim picture. Execs had been sweating in emergency meetings, desperate to contain the fallout. "They're scared this lawsuit's the tip of the iceberg," A source spilled. If it grows, the View's toast. The show's always danced on controversy's edge, but this was a tightrope over a canyon. Joy's threat wasn't just a headline, it was a legal grenade, and Leavitt was pulling the pin. In a blistering interview with a conservative outlet, she didn't hold back. Sexist, unhinged, a disgrace, she called Joy's words, then reeled off her credentials, years of grit, not glamour, to prove her spot was earned. Her fans roared, dubbing her a hero slaying the woke dragon. The clash was raw, visceral, and impossible to look away from. Then came the axe. ABC dropped it hard and fast. Joy Behar was out, the announcement hitting like a shockwave. "She's stepped away," the statement read, all polite fluff and good wishes. But the truth leaked fast. She didn't walk. She was pushed. Insiders swore it was the lawsuit, the breakdown, the PR nightmare. ABC had no choice. The timing was too perfect, just days after Leavitt's legal salvo. Social media split wide open. "Good riddance," one user cheered. "Cancel the whole damn network," another spat. Joy's loyalists, though, they were howling. "This is a Trump setup," they cried, painting her as a martyr crushed by conservative muscle. Right-wing voices gloated, savoring a rare scalp from the liberal elite. The noise was deafening, and the stakes soared higher. Rewind for a second. Joy Behar's built her throne on women's empowerment, tearing into anyone who dares objectify or dismiss a woman's worth. She's been the loudest voice in the room, a feminist bulldozer. But that breakdown, that threat, she became her own worst enemy. She handed them a loaded gun. A commentator cackled on air, and the crowd agreed. X lit up with savage takedowns. Joy spent decades calling out sexism, then threatens to kill a woman for winning. The irony was a chokehold, her legacy cracking under the weight. "She's not a champion, she's a hypocrite," one post seethed, and the mob bayed for more. What's left for The View? It's staggering on a cliff's edge, bleeding from a wound Joy carved herself. She wasn't just a co-host, she was the pulse, the spark that kept the chaos alive. Now, with her gone, ABC's staring at a void, scrambling to plug it. Another liberal firebrand to keep the flame? A conservative curveball to flip the script? Either way, the path's treacherous. The show's armor's been dented by years of scandals, and this could be the fatal blow. Trust's crumbling. Viewers are restless. Can it claw back? Or is this the slow march to the grave? Joy's future's a haze. She's a warrior down, but not out. Will she claw back with a countersuit screaming her innocence, storm a new stage defiant as ever, or fade into the shadows? Her name a mix of legend and infamy? She's been a titan, divisive as hell, and this exit's only fanning the flames. Then there's Leavitt. Her lawsuits launched her into orbit, a media magnet drawing cheers and crosshairs. Will this fight cement her as untouchable, or backfire in a blaze she can't control? Every step's a gamble, the spotlight scorching. This drama's alive, pulsing, far from dead. Joy's meltdown, her ousting, Leavitt's legal jab. It's a saga that'll dominate TV airwaves for weeks, maybe months. Trust in media's already ashes, and this fire's spreading fast. Is this The View's breaking point, or can it rise again? Imagine it. Joy's fans raging, Leavitt's crew crowing, ABC execs sweating as the next shoe drops. It's a live wire crackling with every turn, and you can't look away. Where do you stand? Did ABC betray Joy, buckling to pressure, or was she a fuse they had to snuff? Can The View survive without her bite? Or is this the endgame? Tell us below. We're all ears. Don't move. This story's just heating up. Like, subscribe, stay locked in, because the shocks ahead will floor you. More's coming, and you won't see it coming. Catch you next time.